My name is Professor Unicorn, and today I'm going to be showing you some examples of physical and chemical changes. Follow me as I show you our first example.
Physical and chemical changes.
The first ingredient we need is a little bit of baking soda. The second ingredient we're going to need to make this chemical reaction is some white distilled vinegar. These together are going to form a new substance together, liquid and a solid. First, what you want to do is just kind of flatten this out. Pour a little bit of just vinegar on it and watch the reaction. See, it bubbles up. The vinegar reacts to the baking soda and creates this chemical reaction which causes it to bubble and fizz up everywhere. But that's not it. See, if you add, the more and more you add, the more and more and more it bubbles up. But wait, once all the bubbles disappear, it turns to like this white, powdery substance.
Physical and chemical changes.
Another example of a physical change is ice. But I know I said earlier that a chemical change is when it changes substance. But this is actually a physical change because it tastes and smells the same. It's still water, it's just in a totally new way. So this is a physical change because you can melt this solid and turn it into a liquid and it'll change its whole matter. It's not a solid anymore, it's a liquid. So I'm gonna go heat it up so that way we can look at it. This is what it will look like, just plain old clear water.
Physical changes.
The next example of a physical change is when we change something but it still is the same. For example, when I take these scissors and I cut this piece of paper, it's still paper, it's just a new form. For example, when I cut it in half, it's still paper, except it's just smaller now. Folding is also the same. You're physically changing it with your hands. You are changing the way it looks, all that, but you're not changing what it is. It's still plain old paper. Another example could be ripping paper. It's still paper, it's just a lot smaller now.
Physical and chemical changes.
Another example of a physical change, don't worry, I have more chemical, but another example of a physical change could be cutting something. For example, I'm cutting this banana. It's still a banana, but I have changed the way it looks. Our next and final chemical change has actually like 3 different chemical changes.
Physical and chemical changes.
You're going to want to get your glue. I just put a little bit of glue in and add your shaving cream. When you mix shaving cream and glue together, that's also a mixture, which would be also known as a chemical because you're changing it. You're adding 2 things and they create a whole new substance together. I'll show you once this is done. Now that I have mixed the shaving cream and the glue together, they formed this super airy, crazy looking texture. Now, just to make it a little pop of color, add a little bit of food dye and mix it in there. I like to add 1 to 2 drops. Once you have added your food dye, glue, and shaving cream, it should have turned out to the color you want. Now, to start forming it, you need to add some eye contact solution. So go ahead and add some of that in to make our chemical reaction substance. Stir really good and it should start to form your dream.
Physical and chemical changes.
Now it's time to show you our finishing product. Mixing up the glue, shaving cream, food coloring, and eye contact solution have all reacted to each other and created this really cool substance, which is what we now call slime.
Physical and chemical changes.
Thank you for watching my video on physical and chemical changes. And remember, physical and chemical changes are all around you. All you have to do is look. I'm Professor Unicorn signing off.